In this video, I'm sharing the 5 habits I'm implementing right now to have my best year yet in my business. So if you are looking for new habits to implement this year, keep watching. These are the exact 5 areas I am focusing on over the next 12 months to massively grow my business. So let's get into the 5 habits. The first habit which I'm implementing is having next level organization with every single area of my business. That looks like, what am I doing each week? What am I doing each month? What are my key action items I need to be focusing on? How far am I moving with projects? What do I really need to be putting out in terms of content each week? Being obsessively organized with every single one of these areas. Now, I've always been a very organized person, but I've absolutely taken this to the next level over the last few months, and it has been a game changer for my business by actually planning out every single thing which I need to be doing and really creating not just a to-do list, but a really clear action item list for what I'm needing to do every single day, every single week, and every single month to move the needle in the areas where I'm wanting to grow, where I'm wanting to spend time, and where I'm needing to produce work. Now, this really started with getting clear on exactly what I need to be doing in my business. So what do I need to be producing in terms of the output? How many posts am I producing each week? What do I need to do in terms of my email list? What do I need to do in terms of showing up for clients or creating these videos here? It really started with getting clear on what are the things I need to be creating and producing and where does my time need to be going, and then actually taking all of that and organizing it into a schedule essentially of more than just a to-do list, but an action list of what I'm needing to focus on every single day, every single week, and every single month as well. So I know that I have this very clear, very simple list of things which I do, which are going to move the needle in the direction of the goals that I have for that specific quarter. Now, I use a few different systems to actually do this. The biggest two are Trello and then TickTick. So everything which I'm producing, all of the output within my business really comes down to Trello, and I store everything within there. That has all of the details of how much content I'm needing to put out. It has the details of the videos which I'm needing to produce. And it really keeps me on track in terms of seeing what do I need to produce, what do I need to create in terms of the output, which is coming from my business, usually in terms of content. At the start of this year, I got really organized in terms of particularly my content, because it's really easy for that part to really get away from us and take so much more time than it actually needs to. So what I really did was really strategically broke down, okay, how much am I actually posting each week on what different platforms? What does my output need to be here? And what am I actually creating? Does that look like I'm creating one of this post each week, one of this post? What does it tangibly look like? So I can set a clear metric for myself, and then I'm able to track that in Trello really easily. And then I will take everything which I've created on Trello there in terms of the organization of my business's back end essentially, and take that into TickTick, and that is where I will create my own weekly to-do list and actually put down what do I need to do in terms of achieving and ticking off those milestones which I'm wanting to hit for that particular week. So I will have certain theme days for that. So again, taking that organization really to the next level. I'll have certain days where I batch certain things, and I'll really just drag and drop essentially those different areas which I need to be working on into those specific days. Now, the reason why it really works really effectively to have it this organized and have it this clear and this simple and this broken down to the point where anyone else could come in and they could honestly take over all of my tasks and see exactly what needs to be done for the week and see exactly what they need to tick off. And that works really well, because it makes it really simple for me to actually get things done. There's no question marks ever over what I should be doing, over what is a priority. I've very clearly mapped that out for myself, and I've given myself tasks in a way that it's really easy for me to actually go into my day and complete those tasks and to sit down and get to work, because I know exactly what I need to do. I know what needs to be done, and I know how I'm going to do it as well, because I've already figured that out ahead of time. So take a look over your business and see, where can I actually be more organized? Is it super clear for you and completely broken down really simply what you actually need to be doing each day, what your actual priorities are, where you need to be spending your time, what your output actually needs to be? And if it isn't, then really just take some time to break down those different things and create a system which really works for you, that you can actually use to track these different things and to set those targets and set those action items for yourself. The second habit which I'm building to have my best year in business yet is actually focusing in on sales activities every single day and moving the needle in the sales area. It's really easy for us to get caught up and spend all of our time focusing on our clients, focusing on our content, focusing on working behind our laptops. But actually, if you're wanting to make more sales in your business, if you're wanting to grow your income, which for most people having their best year in business yet means having their biggest income year yet, that actually looks like spending time prioritizing sales and prioritizing this area and actually doing the things that you know you need to do in terms of the area of sales. Now, one of the biggest things here, which I see a lot of people disregarding and not really spending time and energy in, is actually keeping track of all of your leads. This looks like anyone who has worked with you before, anyone who is currently working with you, anyone who was potentially interested but they didn't end up signing up for your program, anyone who has reached out before, anyone who is really engaged with your content. There's so many different ways you can define this, but really just keeping track of those people and making sure that you're intentionally spending time to go in and engage with those people, check in with those people, that potential lead who you had a few months ago who didn't end up signing up because it wasn't the right time or they weren't ready for that program yet. Maybe they're ready now and it would benefit them for you to actually restart that conversation and reach out to them. But the really easy thing to do is just forget that you had that conversation in the first place and end up completely forgetting about that lead. Whereas actually, if you actually put these into a lead tracker and can go back and check in with these people and update their progress essentially and see where they're at and see what is the next sales step which you're needing to have with these people, whether that's engaging with them, whether that's reaching out about your new program, which would be perfect for them, or whether that's checking back in after they had finished working with you a few months ago. Whatever that is, if you can actually keep track of these different leads and keep up to date with these and actually keep connecting with these, so many sales can come from this, and it's a really common area that people just completely disregard. The biggest thing which I'm personally really focusing on here is actually sales activities every single day. So really making it an active practice to look over this leads list and see, okay, who do I need to connect with today? What conversations do I need to be having? What is that person that I need to go and follow up with because we had a conversation around sales, but nothing came of it a few weeks ago? And essentially just doing more than keep throwing up the same generic slides on your Instagram story and hoping you're going to be making sales from there. Actually going out and taking the actions, having the conversations with people, connecting with those warm leads, finding out about their struggles, where they're wanting to go, their goals, and having those conversations with them and prioritizing this in my business. The third thing I'm doing to have my best year ever in business is actually focusing on my own wellness and health and really prioritizing that as well. So it sounds really unrelated, but I found that has helped so much already this year in terms of my overall energy levels and my focus levels as well. So one of those things, for example, is I started going to the gym a few months ago, had never ever stepped foot in a gym before that, so that was a whole new experience, but really starting prioritizing my own health and actually taking time for that and really being conscious of what is going to help me to feel at my best so that when I am working, I can be at my best, and also I'm able to be really focused and really intentional with my working time. This can mean so many different things as well. For you, this could look like the gym. This could look like getting more sunlight each day, getting more hydration and really focusing on that. It could look like taking time to read or to do yoga, whatever that is, but essentially just really figuring out what is going to help you to be at your best and to have the best energy levels so that when you are working, you can perform in the way that you're wanting to. You're not feeling like you've got brain fog. You're not feeling like it's hard to focus and hard to actually be productive and get work done, which is taking so much of your time anyway and just wasting so much time if you are in that state. But how can you really set yourself up for success essentially by really focusing on yourself first before you're focusing on your work? The fourth thing I'm really focusing on this year as well, and I feel like this is something I have been focusing on a lot previously as well, is actually really surrounding myself with the right energy for where I'm wanting to go. So for me, that has always looked like following the kind of creators who are where I want to be, who have achieved the goals I'm wanting to achieve, and surrounding myself with the right people, being in mastermind groups with people who really inspire me, and just really surrounding myself with people who are able to uplift me and are able to get me into the energy and allow me to tap into the energy of where I'm wanting to go and who I'm really wanting to be. But I have definitely been being even more intentional with that in particular this year, of particularly the content creator side, and really just being conscious of who am I following, but even more so than that, what am I actually watching and consuming, and what am I wanting to consume more of? So really just getting in touch with who is actually inspiring me when I'm watching their content, who is able to get me into that state where I'm feeling really productive, where I'm feeling really ready to tackle work. Who are those creators, and really being intentional with actually spending time watching their content. So watching their YouTube videos or consuming their content over on Instagram, whatever that is, but just surrounding myself with that energy, especially at the points when I know I can really benefit from that. So for example, at the start of the workday, if I know there's certain creators who are able to get me into a really productive state by watching some of their vlogs when they're doing work days, for example, I can really intentionally put that into my day, knowing that it's going to help to get me off to a really great start and to help bring out that energy in me and get me into that state. So I feel like this is one I've always been doing, but this year has definitely been just taking that to the next level and looking at even more intentionally who really inspires me on that next level. So not just in terms of where I'm at the moment, but what is the person who is at that next stage which I'm wanting to get to, and can I just intentionally spend more time around that person, whether that's rewatching old videos or spending my mornings watching certain YouTube videos from them which just really inspire me, but just really figuring out what that is for me which does spark that and bring out that certain energy and really utilizing that and harnessing that. And the fifth and final habit, which I am building this year to have my best year yet in business, is showing up on video, exactly like this. So I have definitely shown up on video previously in my business. I've gone through phases where I would do a few Instagram lives for a month at a time. I've done some workshops, but there's never really been anything which is consistent for me, where you can see me every single week and you know I'm going to be there on video. I'm speaking to you in this type of way. And that is something I've really started implementing, particularly over the last couple of months. I think video is such an amazing medium, particularly for just building connections and really feeling like you get to know someone. There's so many YouTubers which we all follow who we feel like we genuinely know them in real life because we've built a connection, because we've literally spent hours consuming their content. And again, it's a really great way to build that connection, build that trust, and also share a lot of value. I can share so much more over here than I can share in a Instagram caption, which will cut me off after a certain point, or a reel, which again will cut me off after a certain point. Here I'm able to share so much more information with you, and this is an amazing strategic thing to do for business as well. And I think it's something which everyone should really consider in some form, is getting on video content, because it allows your ideal client to build connections with you so much quicker than written forms. So for you, this might look like YouTube, this might look like doing some Instagram lives, it might look like doing some Instagram reels even, or TikToks, whatever that is for you, but just getting your face on the camera, it's really easy for people to build connections, and it just speeds up the process of them actually deciding to work with you. A second part of this is also actually just recording more of my life and just documenting small little things. So this was never something I thought about last year at all, but I think it's really helpful to have just some footage which you can just put really easily into different things. So for me, for example, there's been times when I've been sitting working, I've just sat the camera down and just recorded myself working, because this is something I can use for footage in terms of creating reels, in terms of getting photos from there. There's so many different ways I can repurpose this, and it's just really helpful footage to have, especially for those days when I'm not feeling like I want to show up on camera, or when I'm sick, for example, and I'm not able to record videos like this. I already have some footage, so you can still see me in a way. You can still see my face. You can still really feel like you're connecting with me in that way. So it's a great thing really to just kind of keep in your back pocket and just create an album on your phone and share those small little pieces of your day and just document things essentially. So there you have the 5 habits I'm building in 2023 to have my best year in business yet. Comment below which of these tips was your favorite and which one you're going to be trying out first. Now, building a new habit is amazing, but the real secret to actually getting results from this is making this habit stick. And that starts with getting productive with everything that you already have on your plate, so you actually have the time and the space and the energy to implement this new habit. And if you are wanting to implement new and better habits this year, then go and check out this video next, where I break down exactly how you can be more productive this year with everything you are already doing. So click here to learn how you can skyrocket your productivity to implement all of those new habits which are literally going to change your life this year. I hope this video helped you, and I'll see you in the next one.